Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other. Today's episode is Bleach Soul Society The Rescue Arc, Episode 60, Reality of the Despair, The Assassin's Dagger is Swung. Episode in a nutshell is a brief reminder of what happens in the episode. So Aizen arrives, not Aizen, oh my goodness. Hitsugaya and Matsumoto at the end of the last episode arrived at the Central 46 and look shocked. This episode, at the start, their shock is revealed to be because the entire Central 46 have all been executed, or rather killed. And then they happen to see Kira outside. Since Hitsugaya has been suspicious of Gin, he gives chase. Once they get certain distance away, Kira turns around and is like, rather than be chasing me, you should be worried about Hinamori, who has been following you because, you left a barrier to protect her from outsiders, but she left that barrier. Hitsugaya leaves Matsumoto behind, who starts a fight with Kira. Oh my goodness. This is going to be the worst summary you've ever heard, because everybody's getting mixed up in my brain right now. Kira and Matsumoto are fighting. Hitsugaya rushes back. Hinamori, who is following him, is greeted by Gin, follows him to the living quarters of the Central 46, which is a place that's supposed to be forbidden to go. There it is revealed that Aizen faked his death. He's actually alive, and Hinamori, who has this huge crush on Aizen, runs to him, hugs him, starts crying. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're alive. I'm so happy that you're not dead. And then he stabs her because he is evil. And it is revealed here that he is in fact evil, and the only person he ever considered his lieutenant was his original lieutenant, Gin Ichimaru, who then, became a captain, so Hinamori took his place, but Gin's still his accomplice, and they continue forward on, what's the nice way to say it? Well, basically, they're evil. Then, Hitsugaya comes back, finds oh my gosh. Hinamori is dead, not dead, but stabbed at this point, injured, and he of course gets angry. So angry, in fact, that he uses his Bankai, which ends up being completely useless against Aizen, and we get him passing out to blood loss due to a shoulder wound. And then Aizen basically confronts the captain of the 4th squad, who's there, and basically says, the actual, his Zanpakuto Shikai's ability is complete hypnosis, and if you see the release once, then you basically will fall under his hypnosis every other time it unleashes. And this leads to them being hypnotized. That's how he was able to fake his death, because everybody, I guess, has seen it at least once. Aizen then goes with Gin, escaping with a magic bandage technique, which also then it is revealed that the hypnosis works when you see the release. So Tosin, who's blind, cannot see it and therefore is his willing partner. And Tosin then confronts Renji and Rukia, and they also are magically bandaged, transported to the execution ground, and that is where the episode ends, with them all at the execution ground. And I am so glad I got through that finally. Sorry, but everything was mixed up in my brain. So now that we've been reminded about what happened in the episode, it is time to rank the episode, and we'll rank first on the mostly objective ranking list, followed by the personal ranking list. And we start with 2 points for the resolved battle, which was Hitsugaya versus Aizen. Then we have 3 points each for the multi-arc supporting character developments, which we have Aizen revealed to be alive, having faked his death, and Hinamori gets stabbed by Aizen. Then we have 3 points each for the multi-arc supporting character growth. Gin and Tosin both show their magical bandage technique, which is called the Senten Hakuja, which is translated to Thousand Coil White Snake. Then we have Matsumoto, who reveals her Shakai, which is Haineko, which means Ash Cat. Kira, we've already seen his, the Wretched One, Zanpakuto before, so that isn't new. And it, of course, allows the weight to be doubled of whatever it cuts. Then we had Aizen revealing his Kyoka Suigetsu, which is his Shakai, which means Mirror Flower Water Moon. Again, its ability is the complete hypnosis. And then Hitsugaya reveals his Bankai, which is the Daiguren Hyorinmaru, which honestly, it's supposed to have an English translation, but they used a non-English word, so I still don't know exactly what it's supposed to mean. But it was Mahapadma Ice Ring. And those were all 3 points. We are so far above 10 right now that the negative messaging or behavior does not actually make a dent. But we did take 2 points for the betrayal of Aizen, which is actually revealed by the captain of the fourth squad to be high treason. So there you have it. And I mean, technically, there's murder in there too. He stabbed Hinamaru Mari, who is not fighting back. He also killed the Central 46, though that isn't specifically stated on screen. I mean, it's pretty obvious, just context clues that he killed them. So, murder in there too still leaves us above 10, so this is a 10 out of 10. And that brings us to the mostly objective ranking list so far. In first, we have Flash Goddess Yoruichi Dances, The Despicable Shinigami, Ishida, The Utmost Limits of Power, Morning of the Sentence, Genichimaru's Temptation, Resolution Shattered, An Accomplished Oath, Get Back Rukia, Supersonic Battle, Determine the Goddess of Battle, Senbon Sakura Crushed, Zangetsu Thrusts Through the Sky, Release the Black Blade, The Miraculous Power, and then this episode, nope. Conclusion of the Deathmatch, White Pride and Black Desire, and then this episode is an 11th. Reality of the Despair, The Assassin's Dagger is swung, and it is an 11th because, of course, when more than one episode has the same score in our mostly objective ranking, the episodes are just in episode order. And then we have Hitsugaya Howls in 12th, The Strongest Shinigami, Ultimate Confrontation Between Teacher and Students, Overcome Your Limits, The Avengers, Rukia's Nightmare. In 17th, Renji, Oath of the Soul, Deathmatch with Byakuya, Authentic Records, School of Shinigami, and the Reviving Lion in 19th. My personal ranking for this episode, well, I thought it was average, to be frank. I liked the battle scene, but I did find it unfortunate that Hitsugaya, which has one of the better Zanpakuto effects, was kind of useless and that he got destroyed immediately. And once again, return of the shoulder wounds. We once again got a shoulder wound. Um, Hinamari is annoyed me the moment I saw her, and even here, not a little bit of suspicion, despite the fact that now she knows everything that was written to her is fake, and she ends up getting stabbed because, I don't know, she has some sort of hero worship blinders on when it comes to Aizen, even when all the evidence is like if somebody sent me a letter and was like, if you're reading this, I'm dead, here's who killed me, and then you follow that person that supposedly killed them and find that they are actually shocked at what's been happening, and then you see the person who was supposed to be dead is not dead, you'd think some alarm bells would be going off, but not Hinamori. Nope, she's gonna run over to him and hug him and basically give him a perfectly easy time killing her. Of course, she's not dead, but the point is, she made it way too easy on him. Matsumoto and Kuro, it starts their fight, but it doesn't go very in depth into the fight. It just has them both revealing their shikais for now. So that's kind of okay, that's happened, but we didn't get much action there. Hitsugaya was defeated pretty much instantly, so that battle also didn't really go anywhere. Aizen wanted Rukia executed, and the assumption was that he wanted to use the Firebird thing and harness that to like destroy something or other. But Ichigo's already destroyed that, so I don't really know why he's bringing her back to the execution area. And at this point, like, does it have to be Rukia? You've already revealed that you've betrayed people. It could literally be anybody at this point, or you could just straight up steal it. So I don't really get why he's brought her back there. And then there was like a lot of talking, but not really of anything of substance. You know, the reunion between Hinamori and Aizen. That went on for a while. Then there's his confrontation with the fourth captain, where again he's talking about what his Zanpakuto does and revealing Tosin and Gin are his accomplices. And the reveal that the Central 46, who we didn't even meet before they were all killed, has been killed. So a lot did happen, but nothing that I personally find overly interesting happened. And a lot of it was setting up for the next few episodes to finish off this arc. So we got none of the main characters either, except Rukia. And again, at this point, I'm not sure why they had to bring Rukia back or why she's being targeted specifically. Like, I don't know that she did anything to Aizen for him to be so steadfastly targeting her. But either way, they're back at the execution platform, and we'll see next episode probably why. But yeah, overall, a lot of important information was revealed, a lot of setup was done. We got a shoulder wound, which is always exciting, but ultimately we didn't really get that much, and it did feel a little bit boring to watch. And you know, there was a lot of time spent on the talking and the reunion that I really, really, really don't care about. So 5 out of 10 was this episode. And that brings us to, in first, Release the Black Blade, the Miraculous Power, Conclusion of the Death Match, White Pride and Black Desire, The Accomplished Oath, Get Back Rukia, Ishida, The Utmost Limits of Power, Supersonic Battle, Determine the Goddess of Battle, Sunbone Sakura Crushed, Zangetsu Thrust Through the Sky. Then we have the Despicable Shinigami, the Reviving Lion, Renji, Oath of the Soul, Deathmatch with Byakuya, Morning of the Sentence, Hitsugaya Howls, Gin Ichimaru's Temptation, Resolution Shattered, Flash Goddess Yoruichi Dances, The Strongest Shinigami, Ultimate Confrontation between Teacher and Students, The Avengers. This episode came in 16th for me, which is Reality of the Despair, The Assassin's Dagger is Swung. Then in 15, Authentic Records, School of Shinigami, Rukia's Nightmare, and Overcome Your Limits in 19th place. But that now brings us to the series ranking so far. First arc got 84%, second arc 75.24%, and this arc has 167 out of 220 on the mostly objective ranking. On the personal ranking, first arc got 63%, second 59.52%, and the current arc has 135 out of a possible 220. But with that, we have now rewatched and ranked Bleach Soul Society The Rescue Arc, Episode 60, Reality of the Despair, The Assassin's Dagger is Swung. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next episode.